Rob Schelske started at First Dakota in February of 2013. It was kind of a blur because it actually was 2 days after my birthday, so I'm like, kind of a birthday present to start at First Dakota, and rolled in there, and it was just a welcoming environment. Having been in Mitchell for a number of years prior to starting with First Dakota, it was a bank that I respected. It had longtime employees. You know, you didn't have some of the turnover you see at other places, and so it was just a welcoming culture, and it was a culture that I feel does right by employees and does right by customers, and that's what makes it fun to be a part of First Dakota. When I started here, my opinion was valued, and I felt like I belonged. And we just walked through and were able to say, okay, Rob, if you think this is a good deal, let's do it.
Easy to work with, approachable. I mean, there isn't anybody in the organization, staff, Mitchell, that wouldn't go to him and say, hey, here's the customer I've got, here's the issue we've got, and Rob will help work through it, think through it, go through it, yeah.
I think he's known for being a positive thinker and being the guy who can get things done. Like he looks at a deal and he's like, there's a way. You know, I'm gonna figure out how to get this done.
Anytime I have a loan request or anything like that, maybe I'm wondering, how do I structure it? Is this the right way? It's always, he's always got an open door where you can go in and sit down, talk through something with him.
When times are good, it's easy. It's when times are bad that you find out how good a banker you have, how good a business owner you have, and how you can work through some of those things.
He's not afraid to take a complex, hard deal and say, yep, we can figure this out because there's a good person on the other side.
I'm there to give financial advice. I'm there to listen to problems. I'm there to help solve problems.
I think they all think he's their best friend. You know, like that's the impression that I get, is every person that walks in his office, whether he's known him for 20 years or whether he's known him for 15 minutes, is they're friends.
Customers love him, gravitate to him, and Rob's working all the time. I mean, it's the weekend, it's nights, he's taking phone calls and texts and doing all that stuff with customers. So it isn't 8 to 5 for Rob.
They look at him as not only their banker, but their friend and sounding board, like the confidant that they can call up and ask something and really get a true opinion of what's going on. I mean, some people don't have that relationship in their life on any level, right? And so this is it's really unique, and he's a special guy that way.
Customers become friends and friends become customers, and that's for sure with Rob. I mean, that absolutely happens.
My hobbies, I enjoy golfing. Not good at it, but I enjoy golfing.
He says he's not very good at it, but he always seems to catch a flight, which is always ironic to me, but
And the other part is just chasing kids around. I'm at that age. I've got a kid in college, freshman in college, so I'm done chasing him around on these things, but I've got a freshman and a 7th grader, and they're active in swim, marching band, basketball, football. So every weekend we're somewhere.
I'm sure I'll miss some if I go through them, but I know basketball and swim, band and show choir. He goes to all of his kids' activities. I don't think he misses many of them, because he takes really a lot of pride in their success and seeing them do well.
I'm a Vikings fan and a Chicago Cubs fan, so most of my life I've noticed disappointment in my sporting events.
They are probably some of the most rabid Cubs fans that I've seen. The way that you can tell if it's one of Rob's vehicles when he's driving around, and they have a lot of them, but they all have a Cubs insert in the bumper in them.
So I'm raising my kids for a lifetime of disappointment for sporting events. First Dakota gives me the ability to be successful, and I'm appreciated for what I'm doing. I can't see myself doing anything more than being a business banker for the next 10, 15, 20 years.
At First Dakota, we allow you to be good at what you're good at. We don't force you into a box, and maybe some other banks that Rob worked at, he was forced into a box.
I think he likes working at First Dakota because they're just so good to work for. They take, like I said before, the sincereness. They take a sincere interest in their employees, and they reinvest in their employees.
I hope to be working by his side, but into the future. I think he's got a really bright future. I don't know. I mean, I wish I could have the Larry Ness answer that was like, it's all you guys out there.